Hi guys, and happy Saturday. This is a bonus video for you, so it's still Saturday, August 27th, but I'm getting in a quick video before I go to that draft for fantasy football. I'm using a lot of items that are fall based. This is the card we're going to make. It's very quick, very simple. We're going to be using the fall 3D folder. Now this is in the July to December mini catalog. You might have missed it. It's on page 53 and it's shown up here. That's why I always, when I get the mini catalogs or any of the catalogs, I always go to the index in the back, because you're going to see they have stamps, they have the folders, they have hybrid folders if they're available, and your dies, and then of course all the accessories and papers and that. But I always look here because sometimes those folders get lost in the pages. So again, that was on page 53 of the mini catalog. We're also going to cut out some leaves using the aspen tree dies. Now this is if you're putting it in order before the end of the month, which is Wednesday, right? Yes, Wednesday. You can get this. This is one of the things they added as a celebration with a $100 order. So we're going to be using these leaves out of that today. And we're not going to be putting them on the card. As you can see, this is a simple card, but it's going to be those cutouts for later. So you can see, here's those cutouts there. Then we're also going to be using cutouts, dies from the Season of Chic bundle. Love this bundle. Going to feature it sometime next weekend, in the next couple weekends, because I'm going to go through some of the fall bundles. So this is on page 99 of the regular catalog, but here's the set and here's the dies. So we're going to be using, let me grab them off of here. So we're going to be using these 4 dies from that set. And like I said, we're not using them on this card, but we are going to cut them out today, because I'm going to show you how to make the most out of your cardstock when you're layering like this. Okay, enough talking, let's get to it. So I've already cut out the cardstock. Now your normal base is here, which was 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We're going to go one layer down, and that's going to be your 4 by 5 1/4. This is Old Olive. This is Crushed Curry. Then we're going to go down 1/8 from that. So we're going to go to 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And then finally, our white layer is 5 by 3 1/4. 3 3/4. Sorry, I said that wrong. So normally this is what your 4th layers are looking like this. I wanted to get that Cajun craze in there just for a little bit of an accent. All right, so first we're going to go ahead and we're going to run this through that leaf fall 3D folder. So since it is a 3D folder, you're going to use just plate 1 and plate 4. So plate 1 and 4, that's all you need for the 3D. So let's go ahead and run that through. Let me move my magnetic tray out of the way. Bring in the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. So here is your 1. Here is your leaf folder. And can you see it does a whole, I think this is 6 by 6. But I am just going to concentrate on getting it right about there. I'm going to line it up with that line so it'll be straight. And I'm just going to go ahead and do it like that, so I have a little bit left here for where my sentiment goes. So leaf folder, make sure that binding, where that fold is, that binding goes through either this way or this way. Don't ever go through this way. The pressure could crack that folder. So go this way or this way. All right, let's go ahead and run that through. And then you're going to see, I don't know if it's going to show up very good, but you're going to see that wonderful embossing. Set this aside for just a second, because as long as the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine's out, let's go ahead and do our cuts. So now we're going to add to that one platform the 2, and we're going to use 2 of our 3s because we're going to cut out the dies. And we're going to do them out of the middle of these 2 layers. So this way, yes, no one's going to see that you've cut out in between those. But why not go ahead and, you know, cut them out so that you have die cuts on hand for later. So I'm going to put these 2 on this one this time. And then I'm going to put the 4 from the Seasons of Chic here. Now you want to keep them away from your edges because these are still layers. But you're not going to ever notice that, oh, I don't know if I didn't put that down here. Let's see if I can move these without too much. You got to put your plate down. That always helps. All right. Now, the one thing I must warn you, since you have so many dies on here, you can only run it through once. And the reason I say that is depending on your plates, these may move after they've gone through the first time. So to run them back through would more than likely, they'll move and then you won't have good cuts. And I'm just going really slow, so I'm getting all that pressure on there. And I'm just going to go through once. Let me go ahead and move this out of the way for now. Let me close that quietly. There we go. Now, these dies, once is all you really need. Look at that. So let me bring that up so hopefully you can see how that cut and did that embossing on there. I'm going to put that over there in my pile. I use a lot of leaves in the, sorry, putting those on the middle. I use a lot of leaves in the fall, so it's always good to have a stack of these. And then look how these just fall right out. I mean, we only went through once, but look at that. Everything is falling out perfectly. Just a little. And of course, if you use take your pick tool, it'll come out even faster. But look how those just fall out. And that's only with one pass. This is a fabulous die. I cannot recommend this bundle. Well, really, the whole suite. I think I bought the whole suite because I love the paper. I loved all the little embellishments. So then there's those 4. We'll put those over here, and those will go in a little envelope inside my stamp case. Let me get rid of those scritchies. All right. Let's go ahead now, take that, and we're going to get out the blending brushes. Now, I did realize that earlier I used the crushed curry, no, I'm sorry, the Cajun Craze on with my yellow, and it should have been in my orange one, but that's all right. I have plenty of blending brushes. We'll get there. So the colors I'm coloring with are Old Olive, Cherry Cobbler, and Cajun Craze. Yes, I'm not using the crushed curry. You could if you wanted an overall base, but I'm just going to leave it with the way it is. So I'm going to start with Old Olive. And, oh, I usually don't open it all the way because instead of using a pad, I just like going on the lid to take some of that off. And then we're starting off of here. We're just going to, let me get some of these over here a little bit. And I'm just going to do an overall layer of that Old Olive. we are. We have a pretty good base on there now. I'm going to get a little more because I want to kind of get these little ones. I really want to get some color on them so they really show up good. All right. So there's our overall base of Old Olive. All right, so let's go ahead with the Cajun Craze. And I'm going to highlight some of those leaves. So I'm going to start off really light. I'm not going to push it down really hard all at once. I'm going to start really light. And we'll bring it out, but I'm really focusing on that one leaf there. And now that I know where the color is, I can go a little bit harder. Now pushing down harder as I move out, because I know a lot of that color is on there now. All right, and now my cherry cobbler. Now I inked this like 3 weeks ago, and it is still really strong. So on this one, I'm going to take off of the lid. Not even going to introduce any new color because it's really, really juicy. And as you can see, I'm just doing the edge with that cherry cobbler. Let me get a little bit more. I'm going to tap it off just to make sure. And I'm going there. I think that looks good. Now maybe, I want to make sure I got a lot of that because this is my yellow one, not my orange one. This is the one I should have used for my Cajun Craze, but I used the yellow. So let's go ahead. I'm going to grab crushed curry over here from my shelf. Making sure I'm getting a lot of that. And I think I want to introduce some of that light color just right there. Just for an overall. And I know you're saying you don't see a lot of the green. That was the base color I put down. So if you wanted to come back here and add some more at the end, you can. Oh my gosh, so pretty. So pretty. All right, so there is that. Let me go ahead and with the Cajun Craze, oh my gosh, sorry. I'm going to use this saying from the season of Chic. It's wishing you the best birthday ever. So let's just go ahead. Oh, and I need my, where is my piercing mat? Here it is. Because it's a photopolymer stamp. So for the best stamping, you want to have that underneath there. I'm going to line it up to the edge of the paper so I can kind of see where it's straight. So pretty. Now it's just layering. Like I said, we'll use these on, maybe I'll use them on the video tomorrow. Not sure. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to do, and yes, usually when I run it through a folder, I don't like using this because I feel sometimes it can rip your cardstock because it's broken down the fibers, but I'm going to chance it on this one since it's not a very tight pattern. So there's on that Cajun Craze that is only an 1/8 inch bigger than that layer that was 3 3/4 by 5. So it was an 1/8 inch better. This is your normal layer base on the crushed curry. And that would be your 4 by 5 1/4. And then going straight on your card base here. And look at that. Fast card, you can really crank out a lot of these in one sitting. And isn't that just gorgeous? If you wanted to add some rhinestones or embellishments, you could. But I'm just going to leave them just as is. All right, thanks a lot, guys. And I hope you enjoyed this bonus Saturday video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. I'm trying to get to a milestone for me on my channel. So if you can, tell your friends about my channel and please have them subscribe. I'm trying to get up to 500. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but for someone like me who's a hobby demo that's been doing this now for over 20 years, I really want to share the joy of stamping. It's not a business for me. It's enjoyment. It's making friends. It's connecting people. So if you would, connect people with my YouTube. That way I can share my joy and my fun with others. Thanks a lot. Have a great Saturday.